This is Winning Cures Everything. Here's your host, Gary Seegers.
Hey, it is Thursday, June the 20th. Welcome in Winning Cures Everything. We do this every day, 10 to 15 minutes of your time, sometimes a little longer when we have my buddy Chris on. He is the co-host of the show. You can follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. You can follow the show at Winning Cures. You can also get us on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite platform is, we're on it. Go check it out. Make everything easy on yourself. Go to winningcureseverything.com. Here is today's rundown. It is NBA Draft Day. I've got my top 5 most successful picks from tonight. I've got my top 5 NBA draft busts for tonight. And then we're going to talk about Al Horford, Harrison Barnes, Jonas Valanciunas, etc. opting out of their contracts and why so many guys are opting out of big money player options this season. The show, as always, brought to you by betnow.eu. Go check that thing out for yourself. It is a fantastic layout, fantastic odds, fantastic everything. I mean, it's great. They treat us well. They'll treat you well. They make it simple. If you're a recreational gambler, you want to put $10 down, $25, $100, whatever, go and check it out. They are the best spot to do it. Winning50 is the promo code. Use promo code WINNING50. That's WINNING50. They will give you a 50% deposit bonus. You put in $100, they're going to give you $50 free to play with. You put in $1,000, they're going to give you $500 free to play. It doesn't matter what the total is. 50% deposit bonus. Go check them out. betnow.eu. Use promo code WINNING50. Going to make this one a quick one today. We're just going to kind of roll through the lists. Here are my top 5 most successful NBA draft picks for tonight. And this is not including the top 3. Everybody assumes R.J. Barrett, John Morant, and Zion Williamson are going to be great, right? Those are the ones that everybody wants. That's what everybody thinks. Those are fine. Whatever. These are the ones outside of those top 3 that I think will be the most successful early on in their careers. Number 1 for me, Jarrett Culver. Texas Tech, as versatile as it gets. He plays physical. He's fantastic on defense. The guy can score. He can work in transition. He can play in slowdown mode. Everything about him is awesome. Jarrett Culver will be a success at the NBA level. Number 2, DeAndre Hunter. Virginia, he's a 6'7" scoring assassin. Look, at Virginia, he was the difference between this team losing in the first round to a 16 seed and winning a national championship. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, the guy put up 30 points in the national championship game against the best defensive team in college basketball last year. I'm all over DeAndre Hunter. I don't know why more people don't like him early in the draft. Yes, he's supposed to be like a top 6-7 pick. I mean, I'd have him probably in the top 3. I might have him over R.J. Barrett. Just what I would think. DeAndre Hunter, fantastic basketball player. Next up, Kobe White, North Carolina. Look, 6'5", combo guard. Obviously, at North Carolina, he proved he can play the point. He can score. His leadership is, at this point, completely unquestioned. Fantastic all-around player. He can play defense, but more so on offense, he can absolutely fill it up. That's perfect for the NBA game. So I like Kobe White. He was my number 3. Number 4, Tyler Hero. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of out on Tyler Hero. They don't know what to make of him, just another white guy that can shoot, right? Look, nearly 94% free throw shooter. First off, that's absolutely incredible. 94%, so you know that he's effective there. You know he's reliable. He's got beautiful shooting form. 6'6", he can guard a little bit. He can create his own shot. Late last season at Kentucky, he was able to use his jump shot, his fadeaway, to create shots for himself, and he shoots them at a high percentage. The guy has beautiful form. No, he didn't shoot a high percentage three-pointers at Kentucky, but that's something that can be fixed in the NBA, especially with his form. I mean, I like this guy a lot. I think he's going to be very effective at the NBA level. And number 5, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He is a sniper from 3. He's got an insanely quick release, and we see how important that is with guys like Klay Thompson, right? He's tough on defense. He played for Buzz Williams. I mean, he is a package that people are not paying enough attention to, and it might just be because he played at Virginia Tech, but I'm telling you, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is an absolute player. He's going to be a steal late in the first round for somebody, late just outside of the lottery, I would imagine. Here are my top 5 NBA draft busts. Number 1, Jackson Hayes from Texas. Look, this team was 16-15 through the regular season with him. He didn't score 20 points in a single game last year. But they were 16-15 with him, and then he injured himself in the conference tournament. In a game against Kansas, he played 14 minutes, only took 1 shot, only got 2 rebounds, had 4 personal fouls. That was a disaster. And yes, that was a very small sample size, but throughout the season itself, it's not like he was fantastic, right? He's 6'11", 220 pounds, really tall and lanky, not a great scorer. He's a project. And we've seen how projects work out. I mean, we'll see. He didn't start the first, half of the season. So going from that to an NBA lottery pick, it's worked before, but I just don't buy into it. But, yeah, 16-15 with him, 5-0 NIT champions without him. Not a big fan of Jackson Hayes. That was my number 1. Number 2, Bol from Oregon. Another tall, lanky, 7'2", 210 pounds. There is just no weight on him whatsoever. Obviously, we already know he's injury prone. He missed more than half of last year. I'm not sure what people would do with him. The big man in the modern NBA is not very effective, not very useful, because everybody plays smaller now. You can find a way to use him as a 5, especially since you know that he can spread the floor at least a little bit, but the team was better without him. I mean, Oregon was better after they lost him. I mean, they were a Sweet 16 team, but with him, they were just another average team in a very average Pac-12. Cam Reddish from Duke, inconsistent, appeared kind of lost at times. He disappeared behind R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson, and I understand a lot of people would do that. But he's got bad shot selection. He did not find his role in that spot. And going into the NBA, you're going to have even more talent on these teams than Duke did last year. So I don't know what Cam Reddish is going to do. I mean, he's going to be a top 10 pick tonight, but I don't have a lot of faith in him being able to develop even more. It seems like since high school, he's gone even further down the list. Keldon Johnson from Kentucky. Look, potential and athleticism off the charts, right? He wasn't able to do a lot at Kentucky. Yes, his numbers in some spots were great, but he kind of disappeared behind a lot of the talent at Kentucky. His name was not the one that was coming up big. It was P.J. Washington. It was Tyler Hero. It was Travis Reed. It was, all these different guys, but it wasn't normally him. And yes, his height and weight and whatnot, you cannot teach that. He should be fine on defense, but I just don't know how that projects to the next level. He could end up being great, but I'm not buying it. And then last, number 5, Eric Paschall from Villanova, 6'7", 255 pounds, undersized, not a great shooter. He could end up being a role player in the league, and I think that would probably be the ceiling. Or he could be in the G League in like 3 years. He's too short to defend in the post. I think he's too slow to defend the perimeter. I don't know where he fits in today's NBA. And he's a great college player, but his size and athleticism, I think, deter him. They don't give him as many opportunities as he could have. So those are my top 5 most successful picks and top 5 least successful picks. Let's talk about this topic real quick before we get out of here. Jonas Valanciunas from the Grizzlies opted out of his $17+ million player option for next year. Al Horford opted out of his $30 million plus player option for next year with the Celtics. Harrison Barnes opted out of a $25 million player option with the Mavericks for next year. This is a lot of money to be turning down, right? If you're just going into free agency, what you're hoping for is that you get more money than that guaranteed, right? I think that this is the Kevin Durant injury effect. And the reason I say that is you want to be secured over the next however long. You don't want it to come down to one season, right? Kevin Durant's great. He's going to get a max contract no matter what he does. He can either opt into his $31+ million deal, player option with the Warriors, or he can go sign with the Knicks, and they will give him a max deal because when he's healthy, he is the best player in the NBA right now. But some of these other guys, Al Horford, Harrison Barnes, Jonas Valanciunas, is Jonas Valanciunas at 7 foot, 250 plus pounds, is he going to be worth more than $17 million a year anywhere? And I don't think that he will be. But for next year, it would be worth I think $17.8 million over the length of a 3-year, 4-year contract. Could he get more money back? Say he makes $14 million a year for 4 years with the majority of it guaranteed. Say Harrison Barnes, he turned down over $25 million for next year, but can he get $17 or $18 million a year for 2-3 years? Can he be more secure going forward rather than just betting on yourself for a year and having the possibility of a Kevin Durant-like injury? That's the issue, right? So do you take less money per year so that you have more money secured in the long term as opposed to betting on yourself for one season? And I think that's why the Kevin Durant thing, the Klay Thompson thing, I think that's why a lot of people are going to be going more this direction than they have been over the past 3, 4, 5 years, where some of these guys were playing on one-year deals. LeBron James started this, right? He 1-year deal with a player option for the next. 1-year deal, player option for the next. And it put everything in the players' hands. But when players start getting injured and they realize, oh, I could get injured and I might not make as much money coming into free agency the next time, or somebody may not offer me a 1-year deal for more than, look at DeMarcus Cousins. He was coming off of 2 different injuries. He claimed that nobody would offer him a big-time contract. He signed for $5 million. And yes, I understand he signed for $5 million to play with the Warriors so he could go get a ring, which he did not get. But that was the purpose of that. I don't think he was going to get any more than $12 to $15 million, but the teams would like to have some of that flexibility back as well, right? Well, if we're going to sign you, we need to know, 1, that you're going to be back in a reasonable amount of time. 2, we're not just wasting our money. 3, you want to be, all sorts of different stuff, right? So with these guys, Valanciunas, Horford, Barnes, I think we're going to see more of this where players will decline that player option for more security. They want the financial security. They want the long-term solution as opposed to the 1-year deals. And I think that's going to be good for the NBA. I like that. All right, that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, head over to winningcureseverything.com. We have changed podcast servers. We are on Red Circle now instead of SoundCloud. You can find the link, redcircle.com/winningcureseverything something, whatever it is. You can find it over at winningcureseverything.com. You can find everything over there. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Leave some nice reviews. Leave some nice comments. We appreciate you being here. We will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.